everyone, it's Leanne with Lovely Scrappin', and I'm here with my very first design team project for the Piece by Piece. I am just so excited to have gotten a design team position on this amazing team. Thank you so much, Bev. I am so thrilled to be a part of this team, and you ladies are just amazing. My gosh, I can't say enough about you. You are just all so incredibly talented, and I am so excited to be on the same design team as all of you wonderful ladies. So I will post the links to my blog for more photos of this project, and I'll also post the link to Bev's Etsy store, The Piece by Piece, down below. So be sure to check it out, you guys. Bev's also got a blog and a Facebook, and I'll post those links below as well. So you guys, I also decided to make this project my entry for Discount Paper Crafts Design Team Call. I wasn't going to enter it. I was a little intimidated because there are some, well, you guys know, there's amazing women out there and men who are so incredibly talented, and it can be a little intimidating. But I kept going back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not? And then a friend of mine said, don't have any regrets. Just do it. You know, just get a project out there, and then at least you can say you tried. So thank you very much for that advice. You know who you are. I am going to just enter this in, and then I can just say I did. So anyways, you guys, enough of my rambling. I created this altered chest. It's quite a big chest, so I apologize I can't get it quite all in frame here. But it was just a chest that I got. It was like a paper mache one from Hobby Lobby. When I went there for my very first time. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. My husband actually picked this out. He really liked the paper mache chest, and he's like, you should alter that. So because he liked it so much, I decided I would finally create something for us, for him and I, something I can keep for a change. So this was made using the Romance Novel by Prima. I absolutely love that paper collection, you guys, and this is my very first project using it. So I decided to, because it was romance novel kind of a theme, I decided to use that for this project for my husband and I. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually in the middle, and I won't share it with you right now because it's in pieces. The mini album isn't completely finished, but the mini album will be going inside of this chest, trunk, whatever you want to call it. So anyways, you guys, the first thing I did was all of the metal on here was like that goldy brass color, like really bright tacky color. So I just took alcohol ink, silver alcohol ink, and I just inked it all up. I'll just kind of go up a little bit closer so you guys can see. Hopefully the pictures I've taken you guys does, you know, much better justice than this video recording will. But I also grunged it up, of course, with some texture paste and some black acrylic paint, and it gives it this overall vintage sort of a old silver metal look. So that's what I've done to all of the metal pieces, including the hinges that you can't, like on the inside as well, and these back hinges here. There was also metal pieces like circles for the inside piece, but I covered it all up with paper so you couldn't see that. So I then went and I created this. You guys may have remembered from the project I made Miranda, Miss Liberty 25. For the box that I made her, I took the Tim Holtz embossing folder. I can't remember what it's called. I don't have it with me right offhand, but I just took metal foil tape, plain metal foil tape. I got this in my dollar store. So it's more like in the hardware section of like department stores and like Home Depot or whatever. And anyway, so I took that and I layered, you know, them side by side as close as I could on black cardstock and smooth it out with a bone folder nicely, and then I put it through the embossing machine. And then to bring out the embossed look, I just rubbed acrylic paint over it, let it somewhat dry a little bit, and then wiped it off so that some stayed behind. And it gave it this really cool vintage sort of an embossed look, metallic look. So I did that all down, you know, the very center strip of it, as you can see. And I also did it to the inside, and I'll show you guys the inside here quickly. There's nothing fancy. I just wanted to finish it off nicely, but anyways, you can see it on the inside. So on the sides of both sides of this. And then inside, I actually pulled out some old vintage music paper sheets that I got from my mother-in-law, and it says Bridal March. So how perfect is that? It was totally a fluke, you guys. I pulled out the very first booklet I had because I have tons, and it's the Bridal March song. How perfect is that? So I wanted to make it so the Bridal March title was just right there, so you could see the first thing you open it, right? And then I just, you know, of course it's on the inside, the total inside, and up at the top too. And then I went over it with texture paste and some white acrylic paint, and I used some of the script, what is it, the TCW stencil. Let me grab it. It just looks like this. It's the script one that I used on there on a few spots here and there. And then I also put texture paste all over the metal portion too. And this is also the metal that I had to alcohol ink as well, so it was all silver. And I also put texture paste on there to grunge it up a lot. So anyways, and then in the inside, it's just Chinese braid that just kind of covers, because the music note paper wasn't quite long enough for the width, or wide enough for the width. And so I just put the Chinese braid all along to cover up the spots that weren't fully meeting the end of the chest. So anyways, let's go back here. So after I did that, I lined it with the paper that I wanted. So I just chose the paper pattern that I wanted and cut it into strips, adhered it down. I used Mod Podge matte medium, gel medium, to adhere all of my sheets down. So all of this, even this, the cardstock on the other side of this foil, it's all cardstock, so it went onto the paper mache chest nicely. So I also went to my fabric store and bought a big strip of the zipper, and I cut it so that it would, of course, line these pieces, because if you guys, I'll post a picture if I can find it online of the actual chest and what it looks like when it's raw, but there's like strips here with like sort of, what do you call it, studs in there. I liked that look. I kind of wanted to keep it, but then when I saw the zipper, I loved the idea of the zipper, and so I took it so that, I think there was two, is there two strips? I think there was, yeah, there was two zippers that I purchased, so that one, I slightly unzipped it and had the little piece hanging here, and then I tucked in some paper there to kind of peek out there. Let me bring it up closer so you guys can see. Hopefully my phone will focus. There you go. And put texture paste on there, and then on the back I put the other one over here, and I'll put a little bit of paper, and I unzipped it slightly as well and put texture paste. There's texture paste all over the place, you guys. I went over everything with texture paste just to grunge it all up. And okay, so right here I made this sort of a center piece kind of a thing to the chest. So I just took a Prima clock, this is the Romance Novel clock, and I put it on top of one of these resin frames. Let me see if I can grab one in a different color, you guys. So these are from Bev's Etsy, the piece by piece. It looked like this, but it was black, of course, and I just went over it with a bit of white acrylic paint to bring up some of the raised edges. Let's see if I can bring it up close and focus. So you can kind of see there and all the texture. I added some of these little clock spinners from Bead Landing from Michaels, and this is one of those hitch fasteners from Tim Holtz that I put there. And these are beautiful wing appliques from Bev's Etsy, the piece by piece. And so I knew when I got those I was using them on this project because they are so amazing and fabulous. So I sprayed them lightly with some Lindy's Stamp Gang. I used the Cotton Candy Pink. This color goes quite well with it when you spray it lightly, and then also a bit of the scintillating silver, and then I just went over it with some white acrylic paint, or some, I think, gesso I went over to give it a bit more of a chalky texture to it. Then I strung some chain I had in my stash just along here to kind of have some movement there and give it a little bit more texture to it. So that's what I did there. And then as you can see, I've got lots of stencil work done with texture paste. This is the script there. I used the chicken wire one here, and as well as up here, you guys can see. And then I used the stencils, the script stencil here. I kind of just did it all in random spots, but mainly the chicken wire on the side. So you can see the chicken wire one there. And there's two different chicken wire stencils. The one that I used for this one was this one here, right? So that you can get like the wire portion. Whereas the other one that I have, you would get like the honeycomb kind of a look almost. You know, you'd get the holes and not the wire portion, if you get what I mean. So those are really fun to play with, you guys. Okay, and then I did a lot of handmade flowers, a lot of I Am Roses. We'll start with this one here. I made by hand, just using the paper line, the Romance Novel paper line. And then I went over it with some gesso afterwards. I made lots of rolled book page flowers. This is an actual vintage pen nib that I got from a vintage store a while ago. I got a wicked deal on a bunch of those. I fussy cut this from the paper line here and just distressed it. I distressed mostly all of the paper and went over it with some gesso, some mini chicken wire here, and some cheesecloth. I've got the creepy cloth and the cheesecloth and the chicken wire sort of everywhere. It's sort of a common theme. So here's some creepy cloth, and it looks like this is just Halloween creepy kind of black cloth. It comes in like a gray, and this is the black one that I got from my Dollar Giant. I think Dollar Tree has it in the States if you're from the States, but in Canada the Dollar Giant has it. And I know some places in Canada now have Dollar Tree as well. So check out your dollar store, you guys. Other dollar stores probably have a different kind, a different brand, but same idea. So anyways, I did lots of creepy cloth and cheesecloth. I did a fussy cut of piece of paper. It's the 25 there. This is just a bead landing and little ruler metal piece I got sticking out. This is I Am Roses. Oh my gosh, I love these flowers. I took off 2 layers to make it a smaller flower. I also sprayed it very lightly with that cotton candy pink from Lindy's. And by the way, you guys, I sprayed this entire thing when I was done with the scintillating silver. This is, a lot of people ask me what are your go-to Lindy's. Scintillating silver is one of my go-tos because it's very neutral. It can go with anything really because it just gives it a very light shimmer to any project without color. And then of course Black Orchid Silver is another major favorite of mine. I also use that throughout, like I dripped some Black Orchid Silver down here. I just took a syringe I had, like without the needle. And I just, yes, I'm a nurse. Anyway, and I just dripped it down so it kind of came down, and then I heat set it. So that's the Black Orchid Silver there. And there's also some I got dripping over here as well. Okay, so this is a bit of a puffy daisy from I Am Roses, a half of one here, and then there's another half on the other side. I'll show you that in a second. Another rolled book page rose I made. This is a little bow from Bev's Etsy, the Piece by Piece. It's a resin bow, and they come in different colors as well. And let's see, if you watched my video on my design team package, you guys, you'd see all of the pieces I got, but here's another one to just kind of give you an idea. They've got quite a shine to them, so I kind of wanted to tone it down with some gesso, so it kind of toned it down slightly, but it was a really nice little accent right there. Just another fun way to use your resin pieces in your projects, you guys. And then I got some baby chicken wire coming out there. I made another flower, a smaller flower, and then I made another larger flower here out of the Prima Romance Novel paper. This is a copy, my very first set of copies of the Prima wings. I just made my own clay mold, and then I made clay pieces because I don't have the resin or the putty mold yet, the flexible molds. But anyways, it worked out really well, and then I kind of went over it with some black acrylic paint to kind of grunge it up a bit, and then sprayed it with, of course, the scintillating silver. With my Scrabble tiles, I just spelled out love. And I put a Teresa Collins crown here that I grunged up with some gesso as well. Creepy cloth coming out of there. I've got a Tim Holtz light bulb there. This is a large key, so it starts here and ends here. It's from Michael's. It's a big silver key. And I got a button poking out right here. Some more cheesecloth. I Am Roses. Our 21, and then I fussy cut this Unforgettable, so it says Unforgettable Love is the title of the chest. And then again, I just sort of distressed it and curled it a little bit. I got some chain dangling here. Sorry you guys, this is heavy. Oh, I gotta hold it. Okay, and a domino piece here that I put some gesso on, another handmade flower, and this one actually I used the Tim Holtz Tattered Angels, the large one. Let me see if I got it on hand here. So it's it's the large die, but it's this one, and I made some slits to make the petals a little bit longer, you know, because they're kind of stubby and short here. So I used, I don't know, maybe, what did I use, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of these to make this rose. So that's that one. And then again, another, the bottom 2 layers of this one here, I just sort of made into sort of like a rosebud kind of a thing there. So that's kind of a fun way to use up the bottom layers. More baby chicken wire. This, of course, you can tell is the Prima paper. I just sort of ripped, distressed, and folded over. I've got cheesecloth coming out of there. This gorgeous trim is from the Piece by Piece, and I can't quite tell, but I did touch it with a bit of white acrylic paint. And I just put it along there, some more piece of the Prima paper that I I ripped, sorry, and then rolled over and got, you know, creepy cloth and the cheesecloth coming out. And then coming over here, there's another I Am Roses. I think that one's a G2. If you guys have questions about what I Am Roses products I use, let me know, and then I can give you the codes. Another one here, I just don't know them off heart yet, off the top of my head yet. So here's another rose I made out of the paper collection, another rolled rose. This one here is a flower that I made using the pine cone die. I recently won a card making challenge from my LSS, and I got a gift certificate to their store to purchase some yummy goodies, and I was so stoked. They didn't have this out on stock, like you know, out on the shelf, but I asked her, I'm like, do you have the pine cone die? And she had it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited because you can make pine cones and you can make flowers. You can do so much with this die. So if you don't have it, I highly recommend getting it. It also has this amazing pine tree branch. So I love, love, love that. It's amazing. So anyways, I made a few of those flowers actually. So there's one there, and I'll show you the other one in a second. So that one turned out really fun. And more of the baby chicken wire. And this is the other half of that puffy daisy I mentioned. And this here is a large I Am Roses flower as well. So I think I covered that corner. I hope I didn't miss anything. Yep, and then the back again, the paper. Sorry, you guys, I know I'm out of frame. It's so hard. This is so big. Okay, so coming up here, this was a clothes pin that was painted white already, and it had a Santa Claus kind of a thing on it. So I heat set it, melted the glue, took off the Santa, and then added my paper. And I got these from the dollar store because they were a really nice size. They were bigger than the teeny tiny ones and smaller than the big honkin' ones. So it was nice. Perfect for adding that paper too. So I added the Prima Romance Novel paper to that. Fussy cut this little piece out there. Distressed a lot with the gesso. Another flower I made here. Here's another pine cone rose, and you can tell a little bit better with the color. Isn't it pretty? Oh my gosh, I love that die. Another rolled rose I made. I love the R44s. Beautiful I Am Roses flower here. Another I Am Roses flower that was white, and it was the same one as the one I showed over on the other side, and I just painted it with, I mixed black acrylic paint with water and put it into a Tim Holtz spray bottle, and then I sprayed it, and after I got it completely covered with the black, you know, I touched it up with a paintbrush as well, then I sprayed it with Black Orchid Silver, and it gave it this amazing shine. Like even the camera picks up that shimmer with that. Isn't that beautiful? And then I went over it with gesso, and I pretty much touched everything with gesso. And then this is a ticket piece from the Romance, the wood ticket. It says Love Letter. It's got a little typewriter there from Romance Novel. And then again, the side is like the same idea I did on the other side with the ripped paper and the stencil work with texture paste and that beautiful trim from the Piece by Piece and more creepy cloth. And you can see there as well, more ripped paper and cheesecloth and all kinds of stuff happening. And then this, to finish it off, the last piece that I added to it was this beautiful kind of a burlap type ribbon bow that I created, and I got this ribbon I got from Walmart, and I couldn't believe when I found it. It was pretty, I think it was $1.99 too, or $2.99, and you get quite a bit to the roll, so I got a few rolls because I loved it so much. So it's really soft, and I love it because it's got the wire, so it really holds its shape nicely. So I touched it with some gesso as well, and I just trimmed up the ends to make it look like the banner type of a look, and it just sort of, I glued it down on some pieces so that it would stay where it is, and then it's not attached down here, of course, so that this can open. And then for the bottom, I just added these little feet here. Well, they're just like these little wood pieces I got from the wood section in Michael's. I didn't know really what I was going to use them for when I bought them a long time ago, but when I found them, I thought, oh, this is perfect for this. So it gives it a little bit of height because it's already big. I was going to put the Tim Holtz you know, decorative feet on here, but then it would have, you know, raised it up too much. And I really didn't want it because it's such a big box as it is. So these were really, really nice. It was a perfect height just to give it a little bit of, you know, a little bit of height off the ground or off of the counter. And then I just did the stencil work with the chicken wire stencil and the script and with texture paste, and then I just put it all on black cardstock because, you know, it's not really going to be seen, so I didn't want to use designer paper on the bottom. I know, I totally cheaped out, you guys. And then here is just my label. A lot of you ask how I get that textured sort of a look. You know, what do I apply my gesso with, my texture paste? I love using these little cheap sponge brushes you can get from Michael's. These ones I got 10 for $1. You can also get some from your dollar store if you don't have a Michael's near you. And all I do is I dip it in my gesso, even texture paste sometimes. If I mix sometimes my texture paste with a little bit of gesso to kind of make it a little bit thinner. And you know, I dot it on paper first so it's not so thick, and then I make sure that the consistency is good on the paper before I go onto my project. And then that way it gives it like thicker areas where I like it, and then nice, just very subtle pieces where I like it. So anyways, that's what I use, you guys. I know some of you are asking. So anyways, that's the bottom. So you guys, that was a lot to cover. I know, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My videos tend to be long because I really go into detail. I know a lot of you like it when I go into detail. For those of you who don't like it, I apologize, but just look at the photos and then you can just totally bypass me yapping away. Okay, you guys, thank you so much, and wish me luck. I need it. There's a lot of really amazing people out there applying for that discount paper craft. Anyways, I can say I applied and I tried, so I hope you guys like my project, and Bev, I hope you like it too, as my very first design team project for the Piece by Piece. I'm so honored to be on this team, you guys. Thank you so much, and again, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye now.